calm Connor's fears, Mike reassures him that his father will be alright and tells the Pentagon he is guiding Connor up a ventilation shaft. The army goes to send in a team to wait for him outside. Mike takes out a soldier that discovers the hole, and with a sniper guiding them, 2 military troops stealthily make their way towards the shaft. They manage to rescue the boy, and Trumbull commends Mike for his work. In order to get more information, Mike takes out 2 goons and begins interrogating them. They respond with mockery but quickly shut up as Mike forcefully obtains the answers he seeks. He then informs Jacobs of Kang's identity, Yunzik Kang, head of the paramilitary organization KUF. He is the most wanted terrorist in the records, but no one had a single image of him. Additionally, they uncover that Kang lost his mother to an American landmine, adding to his revenge plan. Inside the White House, ominous explosives line the walls, their purpose yet unclear. Kang reaches out to Mike via intercom, leading to a tense exchange. Mike confidently informs Kang of Connor's safe extraction and boldly vows to bring him down. Kang retorts by referencing Mike's wife, trying to get under his skin. All the while, Asher listens, the weight of the situation evident on his face. Kang, relentless in his mission, turns his focus to McMillan, pressing her for another Cerberus code. Despite the excruciating pressure and Kang's cruel methods, McMillan remains unwavering. But as her life hangs in the balance, the desperate Asher commands her to reveal the code, which she does. With the second Cerberus code now activated, alarm bells ring out at the Pentagon. The atmosphere becomes tense as Mike stands face to face with Forbes. Though initially fooled by Forbes' act of fear, Mike's suspicions are aroused when his teammate mentions Kang by name. It's a detail that he shouldn't know, and it's enough for Mike to connect the dots. The tension escalates into a violent confrontation between the two, knives flashing and punches thrown. Forbes, skilled but outnumbered in this duel of wits and strength, finds himself disarmed. Mortally wounded, he finds himself cornered by Mike, who demands answers. Forbes admits his betrayal, confessing he'd lost his sense of direction and purpose. Seizing the moment, Mike coerces Forbes into deceiving Kang, making him believe Mike is dead. Once the message is conveyed, Mike delivers the final blow, ending Forbes' treacherous path for good. Back at the Pentagon, Trumbull tells Mike they're out of time and are sending in the SEALs. Multiple units begin flying into Washington and are quickly spotted by Kang's hacker. Mike then finds some empty boxes and communicates with General Clegg, revealing that the enemy have the Hydra 6 in their possession, next-generation weaponry. Nevertheless, Clegg orders the troops to proceed. Mike kills 3 enemies that attend to the weapon's controls, but is pinned down and cannot stop it. Tragically, the weapon turns on and manages to shoot down a chopper. Its rapid fire causes great difficulty, and it takes down one team after the other. As Mike kills the last man, he runs to the rooftop with an RPG. He blows the Hydra 6 as it shoots down the last chopper, which crashes into the White House, causing a massive explosion that inflicts severe damage to the building. Kang establishes contact with the Pentagon and carries out an attack on Vice President Rodriguez. He instructs them to recall the 7th Fleet and prepare a helicopter for their escape at dawn. Trumbull establishes connection with Mike once again and tells him he is going to recall the 7th Fleet. Mike tells him that's a mistake, and Trumbull gives him a half-hour limit before he gives the order. Mike then has a quick chat to his wife, grabbing some much-needed motivation for this upcoming battle. He makes a bold move by calling Kang and telling him he better save the last bullet for himself or he's going to regret it. He also threatens him and says there is no more negotiating, only death. This causes Kang to remove McMillan from the room and drags her outside with his men. Kang tells her she's free. As the news media covers the unfolding events, they capture footage of McMillan cautiously appearing in plain view. With her back turned, Kang nearly fires at her, but Mike intervenes and opens fire, diverting Kang's attention and enabling McMillan to escape, rescued by the troops. Mike takes out 3 enemies that remain to fight one at a time. Trumbull tells him he gave it a good shot and orders his men to remove their troops from Korea as well as the 7th Fleet. This is immediately played all over the media. Kang sees this and smiles, but now things get interesting as he masks the hostages with concealed bags over their heads. He and his team dress up and tie a chain around each other. They leave the bunker and begin walking out. The chopper lands, and as the hostages and terrorists board the helicopter, they find themselves under the watchful eye of approaching troops, who hesitate to open fire due to the risk of hitting the president. Just as the helicopter ascends, it suddenly explodes in midair and crashes to the ground. The Pentagon goes into shock. They believe that Asher has died in the explosion, along with everyone else. Mike receives the news but remains skeptical, knowing Kang is not the type of man to go out like that. Indeed, it turns out to be a diversion. Kong and the remaining men secretly hold Asher in the bunker, right as they finish hacking into this Cerberus code. The system turns online, and Kang's truly horrifying plan becomes clear. He intends to trigger the detonation of all the nuclear weapons to destroy the United States entirely. The Pentagon receives word of what is about to happen, and a 5-minute countdown initiates before the detonation of the nukes. Kong blows a hole into the tunnels below the White House and leaves the bunker. Mike is waiting for them and opens fire, quickly killing 3 enemies as Asher joins the fight by trying to stop Kong, though he is instead shot. A fierce conflict ensues between Mike and Kong as he pulls out 2 knives. The battle is ferocious, and Kong is no easy adversary. He gains the upper hand and throws Mike all around. He even taunts him by calling him a failure. However, Mike eventually lands a mad combo and grabs the knife on the ground and finishes off his opponent. Mike hurries into the bunker, urgently telling the Pentagon that Asher is alive, but with less than a minute left to stop the detonation. Jacobs, Trumbull, and Clegg rush to provide Mike with the deactivation code. With only seconds remaining, Mike successfully stops the detonation sequence, much to everyone's relief. Cerberus has been shut down, and America has been saved. Mike takes Asher outside, reuniting him with Connor, while Leah reunites with Mike. Asher addresses the nation, honoring those lost in the attack. He assures them that this tragedy has ignited their hope and confidence, enabling them to rise above fear and defend themselves. As he concludes, he steps off the stage and shakes Mike's hand. Mike stands with pride, finally finding redemption.